Wilds of Eldraine 其实呢有2个不同的 Commander Deck。那我现在手头上呢就是召唤一堆的 Fairies and Play Tricks 非 Dominion， 到底呢就是充满着 Fairy 仙子的这个Precon 呢，就是已经预设好的这个 Magic 卡组有怎么样的一个机能，有什么样的一个功能呢？我们来打开来看一下哈。那里面呢还包括了就是一个 Collector's Booster Sample Pack， 外加 2 Legendary Traditional Foil 啊。好，蓝黑主题，我们来打开来。看来 Fairy 并没有大家想象中的那么的和蔼可亲啊。我其实往下打开就有点难再回收哈，对不对？可是不往下打开也没有办法了。好。Small fairies, big trouble. Indeed， 我们来看一下，就是我们是怎么样的一个使用里面的 commander 啊。一般的 commander deck 呢，都会有一个备用的 commander 跟一个主要的 commander。主要的 commander 肯定就是它了啊。好的，这是什么？哎呦，看起来像是一个小信封。它的 Wilds of Eldraine 的 Collector Booster Sample Pack， 应该要先开这个了哈。看看里面有什么呢？好，应该怎么开？就这样。嘿，首先有个这干嘛 ？token 吗 ？Spellbook Vendor， It's a human peasant。好，是一个 rare。另外一个Dragon Mantle， 这个我有好几张了耶，不过毕竟也是那个 Story Fairy Tale 的 artwork，so OK， 好的。然后这就是一个普通的宣传卡片，在刚刚那个信封里面呢有一个 Deck Box。Deck Box 里面有一个 Life Counter， 哇，这个是怎么样？这样子往下压吗？我怕我压坏了。哦，好，可以，就这样。好，盒子做好了，所以等一下呢，我就可以把整个 Deck 装进去吧，是这个概念，好不好 ？OK， 这里有一个 Deck Box。感觉上有点不踏实的感觉哦。好，然后主要的主角在哪儿呢？好，有一些 token。哒当，还有什么 ？OK， 说明书，大概一些简介哈，介绍一下这个 deck。好，这个不用打开吧。这就是我们的主要的 commander， 所以呢，它还是有一张硬版的这个 commander 的卡片吧？哪里开？还在找呢，就是应该从哪里开？好，看来中间应该是没有什么开线了。好的，对，这个就是那个算是所谓的 Commander Holder， 比较厚的卡片啊，这不是一个一个的卡片，但是它代表着我们的主要的那个 Commander。Take well, Duke of Splendor, colorless, blue and black, Fairy Noble.Flying Death Touch. Other fairies you control get +1/+1 whenever another fairy you control dies. You draw a card, but you also lose 1 life. 哇，这虽然可以 buff， 然后又可以 draw card， 可是你会一直不断的减少性命耶，这好吗？见仁见智哈。我们看一下那个 strategy， 所以这是那个 extra card，OK。然后另外一个，这应该就是那个 secondary commander Alela Cunning Conqueror， 2个 colorless blue black fairy warlock， 它有 flying。Whenever you cast your first spell during each opponent's turn 哦， create a create a 1/1 black fairy rogue creature token with flying. Whenever one or more fairies you control deal combat damage to a player, goad target creature that player controls. 感觉上好像这个比较容易操作诶，跟这个比的话 ，OK， nonetheless， 我们来看一下其他的卡片哈。好 ，Archmage of Echoes。Flying Onward. Whenever you cast a fairy or wizard permanent spell, copy it. Nice. 但是这个哇5点了，5个mana. Malleable Imposter. You may have this enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature an opponent controls, except it's a fairy shape shifter in addition to the type. 所以这个 copy 自己的 spell， 这个 copy 人家的 spell。Misleading Signpost Artifact. During the declare dagger step, you may reselect which player or permanent target. 可以换攻击目标。Shadow Puppeteers. Flying and Ward 2. When this enter, then create a 1/1 black fairy rogue creature tokens with flying. Whenever the creature you control with flying attacks, you may have it become a red dragon with base power toughness 4/4. 哇，那就是全部嘛。这很强哦，不过这个要7点才可以 cast 哦。Blightwing Bandit, Fairy Rogue. Flying and Death Touch. Whenever you cast your first spell during each opponent's turn, look at the top card of that player's library and exile it face down. You may play that card as long as you means exile and the mana of any type can be spent on this. 哇，所以它有好几个都是要 cast spell on opponent's turn 的。Fairy Blade Crafter. Whenever one or more fairies you control deal combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it. When this die, each opponent loses life and you gain next life, where X is the power. Wow! 这个可以 grow 哦。Nettling Nuisance. Okay. This you can create whenever you control one or more fairies and you control. Deal combat damage to a player. That player creates a 4/2 red pirate creature token with this creature can't block. The token is goaded for the rest of the game. It attacks you combat if able and attacks a player other than you. Wow. OK， 所以你给人家一个 creature， 但是它不能 block。然后呢，又不能攻击你。Take well scoring. You may cast this as it at flash by tapping 3 untapped creatures. Destroy all creatures and create 3/1/1 black fairy rogue creature. Wow, board wipes 啊。好，另外呢，我们看到的就是有这个 Brazen Borrower。如果你 cast as an adventure， 就是 return target non-land permanent and opponent controls to its hand， 不然的话就是普通的这个 flying flash and flying。 Dig through time， 然后我看一下啊 Dwelf. Each card you exile from your graveyard while casting this spell pays for 1. Look at 7 cards, top 7 cards. Put 2 of them in your hand and the rest to the bottom. Fairy Formation, Flying. 然后呢 Create Creature, Draw Card. Glen, Elendra, Archmage. Sacrifice this to counter non-creature spell. 它可以死2次，死1次之后就变成1/1。Hullbreaker Horror. This spell can be countered. Whenever you cast a spell, choose up to 1. Return target spell you don't control to its owner's hand, or return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Illusionist Gambit. Cast this spell during the declare blocker step. Remove all attacking creatures from combat and untap them. Ooh. Midnight Clock. artifact that adds blue mana. Or when the 12-hour counter is put on the midnight clock, shuffle your hand and graveyard into your library, then draw 7 cards and exile it. 哇，把所有的卡要回来耶。不过要经过12个 round 啦，对不对？ Put an hour counter 对，12个 round。Perplexing text. Choose one. Return all creature tokens to their owner's hand, or return all non-token creatures to their owner's hand. Reflection of Lit Jara. Enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, copy that spell. Scorner of Una. Flash, flying, other creatures, other fairy has +1/+1. Other fairies you control have Shroud, meaning they cannot be targeted by spells or abilities. Sour of Temptation. Theoretical Duplication. Whenever a no-token creature enters under the opponent's control, this time create a token that's a copy of that creature. Kindred Dominance. Choose a creature type. Destroy all creatures that aren't that chosen type. Wow. OK， 还有吗？很多，等一下哦。我们看完全部的 rare 就好了，是不是？ Nightmare Unmaking. Exile each creature with power greater than the number of cards in your hand, or exile each creature with power less than the number of cards in your hand. Puppeteer Clique. Flying. When this enters the battlefield, puts target creature card from an opponent's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It gains haste at the beginning of your end step. Exile it. Wow. Rancor, Master of Pranks. Whenever this deals combat damage to a player, choose any number. Each player discards a card. Each player loses 1 life and draws a card, or each player sacrifices a creature. Trilling Anchor. Put onto the battlefield under your control all creature cards in all graveyard that were put there from the battlefield this turn. Wow. Glen Elandra Liege. Other blue creatures you control get +1/+1. Other black creatures you control gets +1/+1. Nice. Nimri's Una's Trickster. Whenever you cast your first spell during each opponent's turn, look at the top 2 cards of your library and put one of those cards into your hand. Una, the Queen of the Fae. Flying, choose a color, target opponent, exile the top X card of their library. For each card of the chosen color exiled this way, create a 1/1 blue or blue and black fairy rogue creature token with flying. Choked Estuary is a land. Okay. This is also another land. Dark Water Catacombs. One more land. Exotic Orchard. Excluded Glen. You may reveal a fairy card from your hand. If you don't, this will be tapped. Sunken Hollow. Temple of Deceit. And yep, 接下来的都是 common, uncommon, and lands. Okay, so these are the tokens. The Fairy Rogue and the Fairy Rogue. Okay, double-sided. 后面呢？哦 take a copy of something. Normal Fairy and the Pirates. Okay, nice. There we go. 所以呢，它有很多就是有条件的 board wipe，然后呢也有很多 的 token creation，好，所以就是会充斥着很多的 fairy，然后去攻击就对了。说怎么样？你会偏向于哪一个 commander 呢？会是 Techwell、Duke of Splendor 还是 Alila Cunning Conqueror？噔噔，今天就给你介绍非 Dominion。